You do not have a mandate. You're not an MP. You're not in the Lords. You're not an appointed negotiator. And yet you are perceived as being the person that is undermining the democracy of this country.
How am I undermining it? I'm saying the country should come to a view in Parliament, and if Parliament can't make up its mind, or if it decides it wants to, then you put it back to the people. I don't see, Emily, the fact that this government is in this state of dysfunction, I mean, disarray is too small a word for it, and then they turn around and they start blaming me for their negotiating problems. I mean, they're the government. I've not even been in power for 11 years. And what I'm saying, by the way, to people privately in Europe is what I'm saying publicly, which is the only way out of this in the end, because, you see, what people have wanted to do is to avoid the actual consequences of Brexit. We knew something in June 2016. We knew we wanted to leave. What we didn't know is where we're going. What's the new place we're moving to? My point all the way through is that has got to become clear for people. Then they can take a choice. And then what is undemocratic about saying to people, now you see where we're going, do you still want to move? This situation where people say to me the whole time, look, these MPs, they're a disgrace, they're just squabbling amongst themselves. They're not. They're doing their day job. They're doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, Theresa May is saying to the British people, if you back my deal, if only Parliament put aside its petty squabbles and back my deal, all this Brexit thing would go away. We'd have closure of the argument. We'd all sail through to a nice future. It isn't right. It's not what would happen. Her deal resolves nothing. And what the MPs are doing is actually what they should do. They're looking at the detail and they're saying Northern Ireland's a mess and the future relationship's a mystery. And why on earth are we going to push the country down this path? It's not in the country's interests. Members of Parliament owe their constituents their own judgment. They shouldn't just say to them, well, tell us what you want, we'll do it.
If ever there was a moment when this country needed spiritual guidance, it is probably now. I wonder whether, as a religious man, it is in your prayers now, whether you ask for help from God on this.
You know, I always used to say this to people, you can be as religious as you like, but, you know, the thing about praying to God is he doesnno tell you what the level of the minimum wage is. And I don't know what God's view on Brexit is, and I think it's not a sensible inquiry to have. So, no, I'm afraid this is one for the temporal and not the spiritual. We're going to have to decide what we want.